So I grew up in the District of Columbia. I lived there till I was 9, 10 years old, and started school in '54, which was when they first integrated schools. And I grew up in a mixed neighborhood in D.C., and when I moved to Montgomery County, the neighborhood wasn't mixed, and I encountered a level of racism that I was absolutely unfamiliar with at that level compared to the community I came out with. And it was surprising to me as a 10-year-old kid because I had not expected that there would be such a buzzsaw on things that I took for granted as normal and natural, like playing with kids that weren't the same color, seemed to be a shocking admission that I was doing something I probably shouldn't have done. And I found that to be kind of disturbing as a kid. I was reminded this weekend, I went to an event at People's Community Baptist Church, and there was this young student read Dr. King's I Had a Dream speech. And most people start that speech, because most people don't read the whole thing. They start on the second part of the speech, which is the happy part of the speech. It's the aspirational, this is where we'd like to go, this is what we'd like to be. This kid started on the first part of the speech. And the first part of the speech is a very different speech. The first part of the speech is an indictment of America in 1963. It's an indictment of the lives that people were forced to live in 1963. And I looked around the room, and there probably was not a dry eye in the room when the kid was finished reading. But there was also a sense that we're still talking about a lot of the very same things today that Dr. King was talking about 54 years ago. And just like we talk about the achievement gap today, but you can go back 30 years and you can hear people talking about the achievement gap. None of this is new, and it's persisted. And we are a lot better place than we were in the 60s. We are still not what we should be. We've still not made priorities out of some of the things that we should make priorities out of. The struggles in our schools have gone on way too long, way too long. And I think that, we have been, it's not been easy to acknowledge that a lot of what we need to do is outside, for example, in education, it's outside the sphere of the school itself, but in the social constructs in which people live. You can't continue to have kids raised in poverty and expect stunning outcomes when people come to school hungry and they struggle with stability in their families. And we all know that economic stress is one of the greatest contributors to family stability. Success in school depends a lot in success at home, and we need to figure out how we're going to help make people's lives more stable if we're going to tackle what I think is the greatest challenge we have, which is bringing kids up to the level where they are achieving just the same as everyone else. I also have 4 grandkids, and they're African American, and I'm some kind, they're young. The oldest one just turned 17, but the little one is like 8. And they're all aware of race, and they're all aware of differences, and they all are really worried right now. And it is not good to listen to an 8-year-old talk about being worried. 8-year-olds shouldn't be worried. I mean, when I got older, I resented the fact that I had to grow up in the shadow of nuclear war and worry about whether we were going to blow ourselves up. I mean, anybody who went through that, who grew up through that, has some memory of what a horrible thing it was to think that, you could not wake up in the morning. And to listen to little kids talk about the stresses that they have in their lives and what they perceive out there in society, it's just a constant reminder that we need to do better. I want my grandkids to have the kind of future that everybody else can have, but I really hope that we get to the point that they do not continue to see the differences and particularly feel the differences that they feel today. And just want to say I want to thank all the folks who are getting honored today. You represent years and years of work in this community, and I think of the folks who aren't here today, who were there with you and, fought with you side by side and aren't here to receive their honors, but we've had a lot of great leaders in this community. I'm just really appreciative that you are still here and that you're still fighting and you're still asking us to do stuff. So thank you for coming today.